Yeah, so I was stoked to get back on tour for 2011, but it was one of those funny ones that had like a year on, a year off, year on, year off, and I was back on again. Just kind of found myself back on. Last year I had a really good year, winning some QSs and stuff like that, and didn't do too many events, but the ones I did well in. And then yeah, I was back on tour and really didn't know how to take it this year, because I was just had those, every year I was on, the waves were bad and just couldn't get the results I wanted, and just kind of went in with no expectations other than, you know what, I'm not going to change anything, I'm just going to go out and have fun and enjoy what I'm doing, just surfing and traveling the world. And yeah, went to the Goldie first up and got a 13th. I remember having a really bad heat to ace in the third round. I kind of did exactly what I told myself I wasn't going to do. I tried to play it safe, and yeah, no, it was. And that kind of like that result and that heat actually changed my the rest of my persona for the rest of the year. About, you know, I just said to myself, there's no way I'm going to go out of heat and do that same thing that I just did just then. So that was really good to get out of the way right at the start of the year. Then went onward to Bells and had another 13th, but that was kind of unfortunate. Had a really good second round heat. I think it was versus Ace that I had in the second round. I had a winky pop and it was firing conditions, and yeah, got him back there and had perfect waves. And then the next heat I had against Mick, and it was in the third round, and it was terrible conditions up at Rincon onshore, really bad, and just nothing played in my favour that heat. I couldn't even get a wave, let alone do a turn. So yeah, that was just one of those heats where it comes down to nothing I could have really done. Then I think we went onward to Brazil after that, and that was kind of one. Had a good event. Just went from heat to heat. Just I think I lost my first round, went second round, third round, and just kind of built momentum through that event. And the beach breaks kind of suited what I wanted to do, and it was really fun for airs, and just kind of that was one event where I just had fun in, and it came out. I think I got a 5th. I got beaten by Bede and kind of tricky conditions again. But then we went on to J-Bay, I think, and yeah, J-Bay was, I put a lot of time in before the event. I went to Bolito before that, had a bad event, and got to J-Bay really early, put a lot of time in the water, and I was really having a lot of fun out there. It was like I was surfing 2 to 3 times a day, like the days leading up, and yeah, when it came down to the heats, I just kind of found the right waves and had a lot of fun. I was just trying to push my maneuvers and trying to link it across the point as well, and that was a good event. And then yeah, I lost to Mick, I think, in that event again when the waves turned really bad for the final day, and I was really under the weather with the flu that day, so that one, yeah, didn't play in my favour. Then I think we went on to Teahupo'o, and I think everyone knows about that. It was like a perfect event, pumping waves and just big barrels, and had so much fun that event. Surfed all the way through, got a 3rd, lost to Kelly in the semi-finals, and yeah, that was just kind of like fell to the bald man for that one, and it was a lot of fun though. It was a sick event, just one of those memorable events that I think I won't forget. And then after that we went to New York, I think, and that was like one of those funny events. No one knew what to take going into it, and we got there and the waves were really fun, and we had an epic event. Waves were good, and it was pretty much an air show most of that event, so I really enjoyed that event. That was just fun, just battling out in heats, trying big airs, and everyone was ripping that event. It was a great event for the public to watch, I think, and I enjoyed that. I think I lost to Kelly in that event again. Yeah, just never really got anything going in that. Oh, actually I did. I got a 9 in that heat I lost in, and then couldn't get the right backup. I think I lost by 0.5 and got a quarter. That was at quarters there. And then went to Trestles, and that was kind of, it was like probably our worst event on tour this year in the way of inconsistency for the waves, but it was still rippable, and when they came through, Trestles was like a skate park, so that was a lot of fun, just surfing Trestles with one other guy out. It's always fun, even if you do have 10 to 15 minute lulls in your heat that you got to stick out. But think I lost to Kelly in that event again in the quarterfinals, and yeah, I didn't really get anything going. I think I can remember just getting absolutely nothing going in that quarterfinal against him, and he just kept picking off the insides. I went out there with the wrong game plan, trying to wait for the sets, and the sets never came in that heat. So that's what Trestles can do to you.
Drop in on him.
Yeah, I remember dropping in on him at the end of the heat, and that was kind of a funny situation. That was just getting the frustration out. But no, I love Kelly, but he annoys me how he always wins. And what was after that? Then I think I went to Europe after that, and it was Europe was it was a bad leg for me. I think I got 25th in France. The waves were kind of a little bit bigger, and rode the wrong board. A bit out of control. Just same thing. Just didn't get anything going in that heat. Didn't really come down to a game plan or anything. Just didn't get the right waves. And then Peniche in Portugal. Won my first heat. It was a close one with Dusty. I remember it was like pitch black when we had that heat. And then we went to, I had a heat with Heater Alves in the third round, and I was on every wrong wave, and Heater was on every good wave in that heat. That was like one of the most frustrating heats, because I was watching perfect waves all day, got out there and I couldn't even get a wave over like head high, and Heater was on every double overhead wave, just getting sick barrels, and that was really frustrating, that heat. Really, really frustrating. And then we went up to San Francisco after that, and that was one of those fun events. I got to drive. I'm living in Cali now, so I got to drive up there, and I did the Coldwater Classic beforehand and got to quarterfinals, and then went up to San Francisco, got to quarterfinals again, and just kind of really fun beach break waves. Everyone was like so stoked on it, because I was talking a lot of shit on that event with it being the search event. We're in the middle of a city, but you know, it was a great event. We did lots of fun things. San Francisco was the first time being to that city. I had a hell time. Surfed under the Golden Gate Bridge, and we surfed fun waves to the event. And I forget who I lost to in that event. I think it was Parko. I think Parko beat me in that event. And I think the same thing. I got like a 9. I got a 9 in that heat, 9.5 maybe, and then I didn't even get over a 1 or a 2 as a backup. And Parko just found a couple of 7.5s and yeah, waxed me. But that was a really fun event. You know, cold water, booties and free surfs and all that. It's always fun just to take yourself out of your normal elements and have a good time. And then we came to Hawaii here for the Triple Crown, and didn't do so well here. I think I only made one heat in the whole Triple Crown, so that was pretty frustrating. But it's always good to be in Hawaii, and you know, I had a heat versus Kieran at Pipe, and just snapped my board, broke a leash, ended up back on the beach, just kept staying busy and catching waves and waves, and got a couple of fun waves in the heat, but you know, it just wasn't enough in the end. Kieran had a great heat, got a couple of 9-point sinks, so it was kind of like deja vu. A couple of years ago, at least this time I wasn't fighting for my spot on tour, because a couple of years ago I lost in a heat versus Mickey Picon out there. I just needed to make that one heat, and he ended up getting like 2 9.7s, and I had like 1.95 or something, and I was still comboed. He had the heat of his life against me, so I was like deja vu, Kieran out there getting two 9-point rides in the heat. So, but you know, that's what it comes down to in heats, and you know, overall it was a good year. Exciting for me just to have a lot of fun, and I wasn't putting any pressure on myself, just basically going out in every heat without much of a game plan, other than just like, you know what, I surf well, just do what I do on a daily basis, and just go 100% and have a good time. And that was basically my game plan, and super coach Ryan Batista was helping me get there along the way. But no, just lots of fun. It was a sick year, just enjoyed myself, didn't take it too serious, and I think that's the kind of game plan I need to have, instead of taking things super serious and trying to really lock my focus down, because I feel like I lock up when I do that. So it was good not to lock up, and yeah, otherwise I get all stiff. If I don't have a game plan, I get there, I'm all loose. Game plan, I'm all stiff and locked up and all nervous and forget what I'm out there to do, which is just surf and have a good time. So yeah, all in all, good year. Excited for next year. Woo.